Hi, my amazing planner friends. It's Jess from My Magical Planner, and this is my order from Fountain Pen Day from Goulet Pens. I'm super excited to open it, especially this package here, which I'm going to save for the end because it is the biggest package, but I will say it's a brand new pen, and my nail color may be your hint. So I'm going to set this one off to the side for right now, and let's focus on this little bit. Goulet Pens always gives you a vinyl sticker in their packages, as well as a piece of candy, which I've already eaten. But this is the vinyl sticker I got this time, and I don't have this one, so I'm excited to have it. I like the ink splotch there. It's really cute. So I have that one. And then the rest of this are things I ordered. Now their vinyl stickers were on sale, and while I'm trying to recall if I've had this one before, I haven't had it with a metallic finish. So he was, I think, $2 instead of $4 or something like that, and he is absolutely adorable. And I love how he just kind of shimmers in the sun. I think whatever journal I decide to use as my ink journal for the coming year is going to have him on the front. Next, let's do this box. So this is a product that I've purchased in the past, and I just bought a new one because I need more space. And this is their sample vial holder. And I absolutely love these. They're acrylics, so they're easy to clean. It doesn't really have a lot of markings on it. Just on the one end, you have the Goulet Pen Company logo there, which is fine with me. And they just work really nice and are a great way to hold all your vials. Now they are a little pricey for what they are. I think you might be able to find generic ones on Amazon for a little cheaper, but I like how well made this one is. Speaking of samples, now I did get their mystery samples, as well as I ordered a couple that I wanted because they had ink sales that day. The mystery ones, those are all going into a little basket, and along with some inks from a couple of other shops that I've gotten mystery vials from. And all through December, each day, I'm going to be pulling one out and swatching it. I think I'm going to make those as shorts, but I'm not 100% positive right now. But that is the plan. It's a cheap and easy way of making your own advent calendar because a mystery pack from them costs about $14. So really affordable. And then on Fountain Pen Day, they were reduced from that. I can't remember what the price was. So these are the ones that I picked out for me. I have Pilot, why can I never say these names? Iroshoku, which is the line, I think. And then it's Yamaguri. And so we have that one. I think it's a black, if I remember right. This is a new ink that just came out. It's Ferris Wheel Presses Ambrosia Indulgence, which I wanted to test out. Then we have Sailor's Manyo Nagi, N-A-G-I, sorry. I also picked up Writer's Blood. I've heard so much about this ink. I wanted to try it, and a sample is always a good thing. And then I picked up Sailor's Manyo Sumo. This is because I've been using a Sailor ink in my new Sailor pen, which I absolutely adore, by the way. And I'm loving the ink so much. I wanted to get a few other colors to test out. So we have that one. And then the last ink in here is the Sailor's Manyo Azuki. Hopefully I say that right. We'll go ahead and put them in here for right now. I will swatch them out after we open up this amazing fountain pen. Anybody have guesses? So this is a fountain pen that I think I've mentioned on the channel that has been on my wish list since it was shown at the beginning of the year. So it is a limited edition pen, and it is by Pilot. So let's go ahead and open it up. It is a vanishing point or a capless pen. Okay, let's see if we can take it out very carefully. Oh, there's your next hint, the coloring. So this is the Pilot limited edition Seashore. This pen, when I saw it on the market, like they showed it at the very beginning of the year, but it actually didn't get released until like September or October. I can't remember which. And I really, really wanted it, but it's horribly expensive. And so I was like, it is not in the cards right now. If it's meant to be, it'll work out. So Fountain Pen Day rolled around. I was really hoping somebody would have it on sale. Of course they didn't. But I decided at that point, when I saw that it was sold out most places, I found that it was still available on the Goulet Pen site. So I went ahead and purchased it there. I couldn't get the fine point, but that's okay because I have a Vanishing point that is a fine point. So this one is a medium. And it's absolutely stunning. I like that they put like the little tag on the pen clip area, so you can just pull that off. It's not putting any sticky residue on your pen. So if you haven't seen the Pilot Vanishing points or the capless, these are one of the few click fountain pens. Now the Pilot Vanishing points also have a gold nib in them. They are probably the cheapest pens with a gold nib, and they just perform amazing. They've been around for quite a while at this point, and everyone that I know who's wrote with them loves them. You think that this is gonna be a deterrent, but it actually helps you with how you grip the pen. It even has a little indentation there to help you get the right grip on your pen. So that being said, let's talk a little bit about the coloring and everything. So it does start with a almost pearlescent white up here at the top and transitions to this beautiful teal at the other end. I just think it's stunning. I love teal. I love water. I grew up on a lake, so I went swimming every day as a kid in the summer. So anything that reminds me of water is really, it's kind of sentimental to me. So when they showed this one and called it Seashore, that was part of the reason I gravitated towards it. The coloring as well as what it kind of stood for. Now the Vanishing points do have a full nib unit. So if you have any problems, you have to replace this whole area, which is about $100 on its own. So just be aware of that. And then in here is your converter, and the converters are a little tricky to fill, I'll say. So I'm going to start filling mine with a syringe because it's really hard to get a full fill just using the twisting mechanisms. But they write amazing. I've never had a problem with my current one, so I'm excited to have a second one. Oops, sorry. So there's that. And I love that it comes with this little stand for the case, and the outside is like a leatherette material, so it's really well made. I think I might leave it on my desk kind of like this for the month because I love it so much and I just want to stare at it. So let's see what else came in there, because you do get this little thing here. So let's see if I can get everything out of here. So in here we have a little ink cartridge. So if you did want to use the converter, you can always use this. Their inks are really nice. I probably won't use this in here, but what I will do is put this in my Pilot penmanship, which I'm really loving. It's a great $10 pen. And then you also get this little cap thing. When I got my first Vanishing point, I was really confused by this. But what this is meant for, because your mechanism for extending out your nib is that click point, you don't want it to hit the end of the cartridge just on its own. It could maybe damage the cartridge or something. So this is meant to go over the end of the cartridge and kind of protect it, and also help you get it slotted in there correctly, I believe. So you have that. And then there's this little piece of paper because there is, I believe it's a lifetime warranty on these things, which is nice. And it also shows you all the different things here, which everyone is going to show you. But let's see, where's the, so it says warranty. Under this warranty, Namaki writing instruments are guaranteed for life to be free from malfunctioning defects. So just so you know that. when you buy these really high-end pens, a lot of times they will have a lifetime warranty because they're meant to last a lifetime or even longer. They're an investment in your own writing. So I'm going to go ahead and admire this on the side of my desk. And let's go ahead and swatch out these inks. I'm not sure if I'm going to use one of these new inks or one of my existing ink samples in there, but I think we should ink it up today and maybe do a little writing sample. So let me grab my stuff for doing swatches and we'll go ahead and swatch out these 6 inks. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. I think I want to do Writer's Blood first because I've been very curious about this, not only with the name, but because I've heard so many good things about it. So let's go ahead and start there. And just a drop will do. I'm going to wait to do a drop on the second one until we have this one spread out. That way the ink doesn't sit too long in one spot. Okay. And then let's go ahead and do it on the swatch card as well. There we go. And I'll just reuse this plastic bag. Nice. Now I can empty that out, set that off to the side as well, and use my dip pen to write all of our information and do a couple of easy little pen tests. So I'm pretty sure this is diamine, right? Yes. Oh, I like this. I like how deep the tone is, but it's not like a in your face red. It's more muted than that. And it flows really nicely. So there's all the info on there. Let's go ahead and dip a second time. I probably don't need to, but we're going to do it anyhow. Diamine. Writer's Blood. Now, the other thing I've been doing on these swatch cards is just taking a Q-tip. We'll go ahead and set a paper towel underneath this, but just getting a little on the end and then doing a swatch across the bottom I've found really helpful. I try to do a little bit more on one side than the other. And then I have a direct side that I can put 2 colors next to each other. So we'll go ahead and let that one dry. All right, next, let's go ahead and do this one. It's the Sailor Mano Sumo, which I'm not sure if it's a brown and orange or what in there, and I can't remember. I think I just saw the Sailor ink name and went, oh yeah, I want one of those. Nice. Maybe it's more pinky because it looks like as it's starting to dry, it's turning definitely more of a pinky type color. So there's that. Now I can get rid of the pipette. So I'll clean these at the very end. Dip. This is one of the few ones that I do need to reference for spelling. Okay, not few. flow is nice. I like how it writes. All right, let's go ahead and put all of our information on the swatch card as well. And then last thing is this little swatch at the bottom. I think I need more room on my desk. So there's that one. Go ahead and set it off to the side. I'm really liking the way the Writer's Blood one is starting to dry. Here, I'll go ahead and bring those up so you can see. But it looks like it has some sheen to it. I'm not so sure about this one, but we'll see. Next, let's do the Ferris Wheel Press Ambrosia Indulgence. I can't remember. I think this one has a shimmer to it. So we're going to agitate it, make sure we have everything mixed in. Ooh, another darker color. Let's see how it looks on here. So I have found that the color looks fairly similar on both of these type of papers. Let's go there. Okay, this was Ferris Wheel Press. Oh, I'm seeing some of the sparkle now. How do I spell ambrosia? Let's see. I can tell stuff is settling, so we're just going to shake it a minute. I like the fine shimmer in this. It's really pretty. Nice flow again. Sometimes I find the Ferris Wheel Press inks a little dry, but I like how this one writes. So we have Ferris Wheel Press. And our last step. Wow. It just looks amazing on there. All right, I need to let these dry before we continue. So I will be back in a flash to show you the dried versions of these and swatch the other 3 inks. All right, guys, our first 3 inks are pretty dry, so I'm going to go ahead and show you some close-ups. Here is Writer's Blood, which is just incredible. I didn't think I would like this ink as much as I do. It's a red with a purple tinge to it, I would say, and it has that sheen that looks to be black, so it brings some darker qualities to it. And here is it on the color rings, and you can really see how much sheen is in there. So cool. Our next one is the Sailor Mono Sumo. I think that's how you say it. This is definitely more pinky. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. But it's a nice solid ink, and I was surprised at the difference on the different papers. So it definitely leans more in the family of like the Writer's Blood on this Tomoe River paper, and on here it's definitely more pinky. I like it more on this paper, but I'm interested to see how it actually ends up going. And then you have a little bit of brown around the edges there. And our last one is this new the new Ferris Wheel Press Ambrosia Indulgence. I think this came out in October. And guys, I'm totally in love with this, with the sheen and shimmer and just everything. It looks amazing. It's a slightly lighter version, I think, of Writer's Blood with this intense like gold shimmer. Here's what it looks like on the color rings. So pretty. And just to give you a one-on-one comparison, see, it is a little lighter, but they are so close in the color family that I feel like if you like Writer's Blood and you like a shimmer, you're going to love this. All right, now on to how do they do on the paper. So the writing is fine. We have some bleed through on the swatching, fairly typical when you're swatching because you're getting that huge amount of ink. So I'm not really concerned about that, but it is something of note. I always put a sheet of paper underneath the Tomoe River when I'm doing my swatching so that it doesn't bleed onto the next page and I don't have contamination of colors. All right, let's go ahead and start off with another Sailor ink. This is Sailor Mono Azuki, I think is how you say it, Azuki. And this one I think is a little bit more pinky. In the bottle, like the color makes me think Pink Squirrel from Robert Oster, which is one of my favorite inks. So let's see how it looks on paper. Yeah, it's really reminding me of the Robert Oster Pink Squirrel. I wouldn't be sad to have another ink that is similar in qualities. The one thing I found with the Pink Squirrel, and I don't know if it's just me, is if I leave it in the pen and I don't like agitate it at all, I run into some issues where it's almost like the ink separates and I get a different color from it, which is interesting, cool, and weird at the same time. Yeah, I would definitely say this is, I'll pull out the swatch once they're dry to show you, but that's my first inclination off of memory. I just want to make sure I'm spelling it right here. Now, I will say the Sailor inks do have a little bit of a smell to them. It's a little hard to describe, but it is more of a like chemically type smell. So if that's something that might bother you, I'm just letting you know. Oh, I just cleaned off my dip pen when I need to write on the colorings. Sorry, guys. Still getting used to this new process. And the swatch at the bottom. Didn't even get close to the edge there, did I? And I smeared it. But I still know what ink it is, so we're okay. It does look like it has some brown tinge to it, which will be interesting. Let's do the Sailor Mano Nagi, Nagi. And this one is a greenish ink. Ooh, that's pretty. It's like a blue-green, almost a teal, but leans a little bit more green, I think. It's that same Manu, right? You know what it makes me think of? So I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and it makes me think of Nagini, the snake from Voldemort, just from the name, and a little bit the color. Yep. All right, there is that, and we'll do our little swatch at the bottom. I'm just taking it off to the side to do the swatch so I don't get any ink on the page here. Where's that one wet? All right, on to our last ink, which is the Pilot Yamaguri. So I think this is a black, maybe a dark brown, one of those. Definitely a black or dark brown, sorry. Just going from the inside of the lid. But I like all three of these colors, I think. These two more than the others, but oh yeah, that's a really deep, nice brown. Right, we'll do our swatch here. All right, let's try and spell this one. Oh, I forgot to do the pen strokes here. Sorry guys, I'll go back and do that. There's that card done. Now I just need to go back and do pen strokes here because I forgot. All right, we're going to go ahead and let those dry. And while they are, I'm going to go find Robert Oster's Pink Squirrel and see how close I am on those. All right, I think everything is dry. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the close-ups. No shimmering or anything with these inks, just nice standard colors. I like the purpley blue. I like the purpley pink color of this first one. And I think close in my memory. So I said that this one reminded me of Robert Oster's Pink Squirrel. So here is Pink Squirrel. And to give you a comparison, here it is on the coloring. So both on the same paper. It is close. Not the same, definitely. This is much darker. And the next one I have is Robert Oster's Cherry Blossom, and I think it would kind of fit between the two as far as colors. So it's definitely a more like brown tinged, kind of like the Pink Squirrel, only lighter. And Cherry Blossom leans a little bit more pink. So just as a reference for you guys. Then we have the Mano Nagi, which I think is absolutely stunning. I'm considering using this in my new fountain pen, so we'll see in just a minute. But I just think it's really, really pretty. I don't think I have anything super close to this in my collection. If I do, I'll go ahead and show you. But the last ink here is that Pilot ink, which is a nice brown. A very deep brown with a little bit of sheening on here. It almost looks like green sheen, but I could be wrong. It might be reflecting off of something else. But here it is on the colorings. Definitely has a greenish tinge to it to me. So, and then the swatch at the bottom leans more brown. So I'm not really sure, so maybe somewhere in between and depending on the paper. So those are all the ink swatches. I'm going to go ahead and now fill my new fountain pen. So we're going to be trying a new method for filling it. I haven't done this before, but I did buy one of these ink syringes. Well, actually it came in a 5-pack off of Amazon. I like how you can just push this down. You don't have to pull and try and do all the other maneuvers, but it's just a blunted and little syringe there. And so what you're supposed to do is take this part out, and then you're able to fill into this portion, and then you'll put it back together. So there were two colors that I was really contemplating with this, which is the new Mano Nagi, which I think is it's more dusky in color than the pen. So I think what I'm going to do instead is go with, see if I can find it for you guys. Robert Oster's Fire and Ice. It's a nice winter color. I like the red sheen. I think with the medium nib, it's not going to have a problem with that. And the colors, I think, are going to go together pretty well. So let's do that one. I do have it in a sample from Goulet Pens. We're just going to mix it up a little bit. This is a good way to get every drop out of your sample, I think, as well. So let's see how easy it is. Oh, wow. Really easy. Okay, I'm going to set that in the tray over there. And then I think you just, let's see. Okay, a little bit of an experiment. Oh, yes. Okay, so you squirt into there. This will be the fullest one of my Pilot Vanishing points ever. And then you put that on there. And slip it back in here. Most of the time when I pull up my vanishing point, you can't even see the ink in this portion, which I guess you can't in this fill either. But it always makes me wonder, like, how much should I get in? So there's that. Let's grab a piece of paper. Actually, I'm going to use the one I was using to separate things. This is fountain pen friendly paper. This is from, hold on, I bought it off of Amazon, and it's the Romeo. I really, really like this paper. It's got a nice coating on it, and so it always brings out pen qualities. The one thing I don't like is that it's a cream paper and not a white paper. So I expect this is going to take a minute to get down to the nib, just because of the mechanism I use to fill it. All right, guys, are you ready? Oh, it's so smooth. All right, let's do a couple of lines here and see if I can get a little bit of variation. And let's pull out my fine point vanishing point to see the difference. All right, here's my other vanishing point. It is the matte black one. I call it the little black dress version. So let's just see line width wise. Oh, that's funny. I forgot that I had put this color ink in here. But there is definitely a difference, but not so much that I think it's going to be unmanageable for me. So I'm super excited to experiment with this over the coming month and just admire it because it's so pretty. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about my new vanishing point or the nib sizes or anything, just let me know down below. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button over there. Until next time, I'll see you real soon.